In the vast expanse of human history, few topics have sparked as much controversy and introspection as the intersection of faith and reason in the study of sacred texts. Imagine, for a moment, a world where the foundations of your deepest beliefs are shaken by the cold, calculating gaze of critical scholarship. This is not a hypothetical scenario, but a reality that has played out for centuries, most notably in the field of biblical criticism. The Bible, a cornerstone of Western civilization and a source of profound spiritual guidance for billions, has been subjected to rigorous scrutiny, challenging the very fabric of religious traditions. This video delves into the complex and often contentious journey of biblical criticism, exploring the key figures and their ideas that have shaped our understanding of the Bible. From the bold assertions of Reimarus to the nuanced arguments of Strauss, we will navigate the turbulent waters where faith and reason collide, ultimately revealing the enduring tension between the two. The roots of biblical criticism can be traced back to the Enlightenment, a period marked by a radical shift in thinking. The Enlightenment emphasized reason and empirical evidence, challenging the authority of tradition and religious dogma. One of the earliest and most influential figures in this movement was Baruch Spinoza, a 17th-century Dutch philosopher. Spinoza's work laid the groundwork for a critical approach to the Bible, arguing that the text should be examined like any other historical document. He questioned the divine authorship of the Bible, suggesting that it was a product of human hands and historical circumstances. This idea was revolutionary at the time, as it challenged the prevailing belief that the Bible was the infallible Word of God. However, it was not until the 18th and 19th centuries that biblical criticism truly came into its own. This period saw the emergence of several key figures who pushed the boundaries of traditional theological thought and sparked intense debates within the academic and religious communities. Among these figures, H.S. Reimarus and David Friedrich Strauss stand out as particularly influential. Hermann Samuel Reimarus, a German scholar who lived from 1694 to 1768, is often regarded as the father of the quest for the historical Jesus. Reimarus was a deist, a belief system that posits the existence of a rational, non-intervening God. This world view deeply influenced his approach to the Bible, leading him to reject the supernatural elements of the Christian narrative. In his posthumously published work, The Apologetic Writings, Reimarus argued that the biblical miracles, including the resurrection of Jesus, could be explained through naturalistic means. He proposed that the disciples had stolen Jesus' body to create the illusion of his resurrection, and that later evangelists fabricated predictions of the resurrection to strengthen their claims. Reimarus' ideas were revolutionary and controversial. By subjecting the biblical accounts to rational scrutiny, he challenged the traditional understanding of Jesus as a divine figure. For Reimarus, Jesus was a human teacher whose message was rooted in the eschatological belief that he was ushering in the end times. This perspective shifted the focus from the supernatural to the historical, emphasizing the importance of understanding Jesus within the context of his own time and culture. Reimarus' work was a significant departure from the prevailing orthodoxy, and it set the stage for future scholars to explore the historical dimensions of the Bible. However, his ideas were met with fierce resistance from religious authorities, who saw them as a threat to the foundations of Christian faith. Despite this, Reimarus' influence was lasting, and his methods of critical analysis paved the way for the next generation of biblical scholars. Building on the foundation laid by Reimarus, David Friedrich Strauss took the critique of the Bible to new heights. Strauss, a German theologian who lived from 1808 to 1874, published his magnum opus, The Life of Jesus, Critically Examined, in 1835 to 36. This massive work, spanning over 1,400 pages, was a comprehensive examination of the life of Jesus from a historical and rational perspective. Like Reimarus, Strauss dismissed the miracle stories in the Gospels, arguing that they could be explained through natural causes. However, Strauss' approach was more nuanced and, in some ways, more optimistic. For Strauss, the critical examination of the Bible was not a threat to Christianity, but a means of purifying the faith. He believed that by stripping away the supernatural elements, one could arrive at a more authentic and meaningful understanding of Jesus' teachings. Strauss argued that Jesus was not divine in a unique sense, but his message and example revealed the divine in all humanity. He saw the historical Jesus as a moral and spiritual guide, whose teachings could be embraced without the need for miraculous validation. Strauss' work was groundbreaking, but it also had severe consequences for his career. His critical approach was deemed heretical by the religious establishment, and he lost his position at the Protestant seminary in Tübingen. Despite the backlash, Strauss' ideas had a lasting impact on the field of biblical criticism. He introduced the distinction between historical and theological questions, emphasizing that faith and historical inquiry occupy different domains. This separation allowed for a more balanced and nuanced approach to the study of the Bible, one that recognized the importance of both historical accuracy and theological interpretation. The critical methods pioneered by Reimarus and Strauss did not remain confined to the 19th century. They continued to influence biblical scholarship well into the 20th and 21st centuries, shaping the way scholars approach the study of the Bible. The work of later scholars, such as Wilhelm Vack, Julius Wellhausen, and Ferdinand Christian Bohr, built upon and expanded the critical framework established by their predecessors. Wilhelm Vack, a German theologian who lived from 1806 to 1882, applied a historical critical approach to the Old Testament. In his 1835 work, Biblical Theology, The Religion of the Old Testament, Vack challenged the traditional chronology of the Hebrew Bible, arguing that the religion of the prophets predated the legalistic traditions found in the Pentateuch. This hypothesis, which was later refined by Julius Wellhausen, suggested that the books of the Old Testament were not a straightforward record of divine revelation, but a complex product of historical and cultural development. Julius Wellhausen, a German biblical scholar who lived from 1844 to 1918, is best known for his documentary hypothesis, which proposed that the Pentateuch was composed from multiple, distinct sources. This hypothesis which has been both celebrated and criticized, revolutionized the study of the Old Testament by highlighting the human and historical aspects of its composition. Wellhausen's work underscored the importance of understanding the Bible as a product of its time and place, rather than an unchanging and infallible text. Ferdinand Christian Bohr, another influential figure in biblical criticism, focused on the New Testament. Bohr, who taught at the University of Tübingen from 1826 to 1860, argued that the New Testament reflected a complex interplay of different strands of early Christianity. He proposed that the early Christian community was divided between Pauline and Petrine factions, each with its own distinct theological and historical perspective. Bohr's insights into the diversity and development of early Christianity challenged the traditional view of a unified and monolithic early church. The work of these critical scholars has had a profound impact on the way we understand the Bible. But it has also raised significant questions about the relationship between faith and criticism. For many believers, the critical approach to the Bible can be deeply unsettling. The idea that the Bible is a human document, subject to historical and literary analysis, can seem to undermine the authority and inspiration of the text. This tension is perhaps most evident in the reaction of conservative and fundamentalist Christians, who view critical scholarship as a threat to the inerrancy and infallibility of the Bible. However, for others, the critical approach to the Bible can be seen as a way of deepening and enriching faith. By understanding the historical and cultural context in which the Bible was written, one can gain a more nuanced and meaningful understanding of its teachings. This perspective aligns with the views of scholars like Strauss, who saw critical inquiry as a means of purifying and strengthening the faith. The journey through the history of biblical criticism is a testament to the enduring human quest for understanding. From the bold assertions of Reimarus to the nuanced arguments of Strauss, the critical examination of the Bible has challenged, provoked, and ultimately enriched our understanding of one of the most influential texts in human history. While the tension between faith and reason remains, the critical approach to the Bible continues to offer valuable insights into the nature of religious belief and the complexity of human experience. In the end, the study of the Bible, like any profound and enduring text, is a journey that transcends simple answers, inviting us to explore the depths of our own faith and reason.